From the 18th of August to the 8th of September 2012, our cameras captured footage of all steam locomotives and railways across the United Kingdom. On our first day, we arrive at York, and here at York Station we see 60163 Tornado heading its way to Scarbrough on the Scarbrough Spa Flyer. The Scarbrough Spa Flyer is hosted by Steam Dreams. Scarbrough is a very popular holiday seaside resort during the summer period. The 60163 Tornado was first built in August 2008 by the A1 Steam Trust. During the 1980s, a group of men came together and decided to build a brand new steam locomotive, and what had begun as a dream has now been turned into a reality. In 2009, Tornado took part of the BBC Top Gear's Race to the North, with Jeremy Clarkson on board the footplate. While the book passengers will spend their lovely day at Scarborough, we now move to the National Railway Museum in York, where it was opened in 1975 by the Duke of Edinburgh Prince Philip. We start off in the workshops, and here we see 4472 or 502 Flying Scotsman in World War II black livery. The locomotive wore the livery last year when it was revealed to the National Railway Museum in May 2011. Flying Scotsman was built at Doncaster in 1923. In 1924-25, the locomotive represented the London North Eastern Railway at the British Empire exhibition at Wembley. In 1928, it was the first steam locomotive to take the non-stop trains between London to Edinburgh. In 1934, Flying Scotsman was the first steam locomotive to reach 100 miles an hour, until Mallard broke it in 1938. In 1963, Flying Scotsman was retired from British Railway services, and was saved by the late Alan Pegler. From 1969 to 1973, Flying Scotsman went to the United States of America. However, it ended in financial ruins, and was shipped back to England by new owner Sir William McAlpine. It then travelled to Australia in 1988 for Oststeam 88, and travelled around the country in 1989. Flying Scotsman is now receiving another overhaul, and to be steamed ready for the 21st century. Meanwhile in the workshops, we see another London North Eastern Railway legend, 4468 Mallard, built in 1938. This locomotive is famous for running the 128 miles per hour record to Stoke Bank. The record was done on July 3, 1938, and in 2013, Mallard will celebrate its 75th anniversary of its world speed record with two other A4s from the United States and Canada. From 2001 to 2011, 5972 Alton Hall is famous for being Hogwarts Express from the famous Harry Potter movie series. However, Alton Hall is not a castle-class locomotive, and this engine is called Hogwarts Castle. We now move to the National Railway Museum's most exotic steam locomotive, 6229 Duchess of Hamilton, from the London Midland Scottish Railway, built in 1938. A year later, in 1939, the locomotive went to the New York World's Fair as Coronation Scott, one of its sister-class locomotives. However, due to the outbreak of the Second World War, Duchess of Hamilton was kept in the United States until it was shipped back to the UK in 1942. On the turntable, we see Winston Churchill from the Battle of Britain class. In 1965, this locomotive hauled Winston Churchill's state funeral train. In February 1960, Evening Star was the last steam locomotive to be built for British Rail. Evening Star was built in Swindon in the Great Western region of British Railways. However, the locomotive's life was short. It ended its life in 1965, and now it stands proudly in the Great Hall of the National Railway Museum, with its splendid 10 driving wheel configuration. We now move inside the National Railway Museum's indoor model railway room. Here we see splendid O-gauge models of all the variety of steam locomotives from 4 different regions of British Rail. It is now Monday, August the 20th, 2012, and we arrive back at the National Railway Museum to take a ride behind a replica of George Stephenson's rocket. George Stephenson built the rocket with his son Robert in 1829. The Liverpool and Manchester Railway was opened in 1830, and Rocket was the first locomotive to carry passengers. This 1979 replica was built in time for the 150th anniversary of the Rainhill Trials in 1980. However, unlike its original counterpart, this rocket locomotive had some modern safety features in. Our video concludes with Rocket. In our next special, we take a trip to Wales to see the Talyllyn Railway, the world's first preserved steam railway.